I have always struggled with this. I just got out of a 9-year relationship, and looking back, it only turned into a sexual relationship because she was fairly forward physically, such as being in my personal space and comfortable touching. However, we never said anything really sexy to each other until after we started having sex. How do men actually get women to that stage? I'm very comfortable having a conversation with a woman non-sexually, but do people make flirty comments? Touch them? I literally don't understand this part. It always feels inappropriate to say sexy things to women or touch them, especially if you don't know them. How do people escalate relationships from, I don't know you well, or I kind of know you, to territory that suggests I want you? Story 1. That's where the nice guys always mess up. They don't make their intentions clear. I've been with women way out of my league simply because I flirted confidently, teased them playfully, and made strong eye contact. Too many men just try to be nice, but in reality, many women enjoy the thrill of flirting and want to feel pursued and won over. If you're just nice, they don't know what you want from them and turn to other men who make their intentions clear. I don't know how I get to that stage. I just repeatedly make innocent flirty comments as long as it isn't awkward, and it just works for me. Story 2. What I learned works here and is much less awkward than trying to move to touching or going in for it, is that when the conversation has been developing and starts to feel flirty, just ask someone out. One example is the classic party situation. You are at a party or social event, you have been chatting for a while and having a good time. Just say some version of, "Would you like to grab a drink with me this week?" That will immediately cut through the barrier in a way that is far less awkward than trying to get physically close on the spot. If they say no, it is absolutely cool and you are over any awkwardness. If they say yes, you have an enjoyable night ahead. Story 3. I struggle because I err on the side of extreme caution. I am not aggressive or pushy at all. Unless I see clear signs that she wants to move forward to sex, I do not push it. I know I have missed opportunities. I never want to push a woman to do something she does not want. Story 4. Make your intent known and then ask if they would like to go back to your place. There is no magic word combination that will make someone have sex with you. You meet them at the right time and place, and they decide if they have chosen you or not. Your job is not to change their mind but to make it possible for it to happen. Story 5. Maintain eye contact for a slightly extended time. If she does not look away, begin leaning in for a kiss. If she is comfortable with this, continue kissing until someone starts to undress themselves or the other person. Story 6. Be honest. At some point, make it clear what you are interested in. Just be cool and relaxed about it. It is just sex. We all want it. We are all a little nervous trying to get it. Just be real, brother. Story 7. I see this question asked all the time on Reddit, and the 2 key points people seem to miss are: there is no magic combination of words or actions that will guarantee success. Every woman is different, and every situation is unique. This is where social skills come into play. You need to read the situation and, using words, body language, and physical touch, move the conversation into something sensual or sexual. The way to learn how to do this is just to try different approaches. Which brings me to point number 2. At some point, someone has to make the first move. If you want it to happen, that person should be you. You may need to lean in for a kiss or hold her hand, caress her thigh, or something similar. Most women want the man to make the first move. You need to get over the idea that it is always inappropriate to make the first move or initiate physical contact with a woman. Obviously, social skills are very important, and you should be reasonably sure that she is interested and wants you to. But there will always be some uncertainty, and that can be scary and nerve-wracking. That is life. There is no magic answer where you will always know for sure what the consequences of your actions will be. But if you are reasonably sure that she is into you and you are prepared to be respectful and graciously accept rejection, you have to go for it. Story 8. I have been in this situation a lot myself. I am the opposite of pushy, mainly because I am respectful above all else. Raised by a single mother and having a younger sister. Witty banter, playful teasing or flirting, and then looking for some of the telltale signs. For example, if she hits you, shows a little hair, or makes long, intent eye contact, you are where you want to be and just keep progressing it. If you are out together and getting ready to leave, like paying the bill, and she goes to the bathroom and comes out with fresh lip gloss or gum or mint, that is a full green light on the kiss. You just cannot be afraid of rejection. Another tip is to share something that you normally wouldn't, something that puts you in a vulnerable place, and see how she responds. I have realized that women love to hear about how I used to be a bad boy and how now I am reformed. Leaving some mystery will keep them coming back. I am just now starting to realize that women think about sex just as much as we do. If it is a first date, like a formal one where you or she asked the other out, and you feel there was genuine excitement, you are already there. Also, being attractive helps hugely. A huge tip is to clean and cut your fingernails. Some men do not think about this, and I have landed 2 women while out who initiated with me based on my hands and the fact that I am attractive and dress well. I may have rambled here, but I hope this helps in some way. Story 9. Really nice reading all of the advice here and knowing that I will never be brave enough to apply any of them. Story 10. You have to gradually increase the level of tension between the two of you. Some people do this with jokes, some flirt, some are very touchy. Use subtle suggestions and small remarks, a gentle touch in a more intimate place than usual, such as the small of the back. Do not avoid eye contact as friends do. Instead, lean into it. Let the tension build continuously until you are fully engaged. Story 11. I agree it is complicated because it is mostly nonverbal communication. But basically, you signal your interests by moving closer bit by bit, slowly and carefully. At some point, you must notice that she does not back away. Then you test the waters further by caressing her hands or something. Story 12. Slight compliments, slight teasing, slight sexualization, slight touches, in that order, each step gauging her reaction to see if it is working. It could take several interactions or could all happen within the first 10 seconds of meeting her. Story 13. Ask them questions about themselves to get to know them. Then tease them a bit and make subtle suggestions. This is called flirting. Story 14. Physical, emotional, and intimate escalation. You push the limits and take it one step further every time you interact with her, but you respect her and hold space for her to decide to take it further with you. A girl who is into you can and will. You just have to set up dates and meetings that make it happen. Story 15. Personally, I could not tell you. I do not think any interactions I have had with women prior to sex were very platonic. That is not to say that things were never platonic, but they just kind of moved out of that area at some point. It was usually the girl or woman who pushed the boundaries in the end. I am actually in a similar situation to you because I do not really know why it happens when it does or otherwise. The ways women act on attraction can be very counterintuitive, and it almost seems like they are rushing themselves before they lose it. It is very abrupt. Every time I have had sex with someone, it felt like the situation came up out of nowhere. You just lean into it and make sure they do not think twice about it. I do not like this, and it has been a big part of why I do not talk to women much. My experiences were very disappointing and made me feel insignificant when it was all said and done. Story 16. I don't really have a good answer. With the right person, it just happens. I mean, I know it doesn't just happen, but it kind of builds in a way where I'm comfortable enough to escalate, whether verbally or physically, and she responds in some way. You keep going until you're both comfortable or one pulls back and decides that's as far as they want to go for the time being. There are some women where we physically speak the same language and it naturally happens. But I'm pretty cautious, so that usually happens when she's pretty forward to start with in my case. There are others where we don't read each other well, so it tends to be more of a conversation to find out if she's interested. And if so, then we move forward. If not, we don't. That tends to feel a little awkward, but pushing through it sometimes leads to interest and sometimes does not. It is normally worth making your move after getting to know her a little. Unless she is a long-term friend and you think it would end the friendship, you have to decide which is more important to you. In my experience, with the people I know, it tends to be fine to make your move regardless, as long as you can accept no gracefully. I really only know one person who would prefer people not do so with her. Even she acknowledges it would be fine, just uncomfortable for a bit. Different people and groups often see this very differently. So, tread carefully depending on how well you know her and how she feels about that kind of thing if you are referring to a close friend rather than someone you are getting to know. Story 17, just ask. Being direct has always worked for me. It is also much less creepy than hovering. If she says no, then the boundaries are set. Story 18. Be playful, be bold, introduce some tension, make eye contact, take some risks, and break the touch barrier within reason. It depends on the kind of relationship you are aiming for, but generally you want to convey your interest before it becomes a platonic conversation. Story 19. I agree with those saying to just go for it and accept that rejection may be in your future. It is difficult to be rejected, but if there is no risk, there is seldom reward. Make sure you take any rejection graciously and do not be a nice guy or try to pressure her into changing her mind. If you get turned down, disengage and do not enter the friend zone. Find someone else to pursue until you find your match. Story 20. Let's not act like there is only one way for every woman. Generally, every person wants to feel desired but not uncomfortable. Sometimes it's subtle and sometimes it's clear. It is up to you to gauge which approach is best. Story 21. By flirting or touching, if you want to play it safe, just go slow but make your intention clear. If you don't know how to bring up the topic of intimacy, maybe don't do it unless she does it first. If she doesn't, try physical touch. Sometimes there will be signs that she likes you enough to be comfortable with physical interactions, like pulling on your arm as you're walking to get your attention, or jokingly slapping your back or shoulder when you tell a bad joke or do something silly. If not, the safest way to initiate physical touch is to hold hands, or just ask her if you can hold her hand if you're unsure. You can walk hand in hand or just sit together. Feel her hand with your fingertips, caress it, study it, kiss it, whatever feels romantic. If it goes well, one thing will lead to another. Lean close to her or let her rest her head on your shoulder. Kiss her on the cheek before you two lock mouths. Just ask for consent whenever you're unsure. You should be able to figure out the rest after you reach the kissing phase. Story 22. Does the same apply to texting? There is a girl I have been texting for a couple of days, but I am not sure if it is a good time to meet. I still do not know if I will start college in her city. I will know that in a week. We text sometimes, and I feel that we both like each other. It is clearly not just platonic, but no one is making a direct move. The point is, I want to know if we will both live in the same city before taking it to the next stage with a meeting. Should I still meet her before I get that confirmation, or should I just wait? She lives only 1 hour away from me. Story 23. Comfortable conversation. Hey, I really enjoy our talks, but I want to hear you scream. You either get lucky or get slapped. Either way, you could have a conversation based on the outcome. Welcome to my TED Talk. Story 24. How do you go from a platonic conversation with a woman to sex? Escalation. 2. Checking if it is okay to proceed. 3. Time. 4. Back to step 1 or exit. Imagine a graph like this. You start talking at 0, continue talking, and check whether she is interested. Is she participating in the conversation? Contributing to it? Showing increased interest? After a while, you need to stop and ask her if she wants to continue the conversation another time, in another place. If she is interested, you make plans. At the next meeting, you continue the conversation, maybe with an activity like having coffee. Check if she is still engaged and interested. If she is, you arrange an official date. During the date, escalate further to flirting, make contact respectfully. The goal of the first date is to have a second date. The second date is similar to the first. The goal is to have a third date. The third date follows the same pattern, aiming for a fourth date. The fourth date continues similarly, aiming for a fifth date. At some point, there should be a first kiss, usually on the first or second date. After that, there are first, second, and third base leading to sex. Some people or situations go from conversation to sex in about 1 hour or less, like one-night stands. Other situations may require weeks or months. Every situation is different. Proceed at a pace comfortable for both. Story 25. Platonic to sexual. That's like asking how you go from solid to gaseous state. It's called sublimation, and it requires much more energy than simply melting an ice cube into a puddle of water. I would start by not being platonic to begin with, as it sends the wrong signal. Then you have to ramp it up from 0 to 100, which is calibrated and can freak girls out. Story 26. Just be direct but not creepy. I'm not usually this direct. Would it be okay if I kissed you right now? Story 27. The new Superman movie is getting great reviews. We should go sometime. Get a big thing of popcorn, maybe a Diet Cola. We could get a couple of boxes of candy too. James Gunn is very good at the superhero movie genre. Story 28. Make your intentions clear, but it only works if she is actually interested in you, or willing to be interested in you if she knows you are interested in her. If she is definitely not interested in you, she will think you are creepy. Story 29. As I understand, you are not a young adult anymore. You can be open about how you view your relationship and be prepared to accept rejection. Story 30. Somewhere in the conversation, I always ask, so, are you an angel? Because you should have sex with me. 9 times out of 10 it gets a laugh. Of those 9, 4 usually get the joke and we confidently proceed. The other 5 either understand and decline or do not understand and still decline after clarification. Story 31. Hey, I have really enjoyed talking and getting to know you, and I am very physically attracted to you. Let her respond. No pressure or expectations, but I do want to have sex with you. Let her respond. No manipulation, no tricks. State your intent. State your wants. If she isn't interested, you are happy for her. If she is, you can be happy as well. The key is to realize that games and tricks are a waste of effort. Story 32. You're not struggling with it. You're ignoring the very clear sign of, I have no interest in you. Start doing things that directly benefit you more and improve your financial situation. Story 33. What do you mean by you genuinely always struggled? Would anyone think your struggling was not genuine? Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.